banked by the Ohio River and the city's abundance of hills. We're at Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Straight ahead is what should be a very entertaining matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the Buccaneers.
Ball is teed up. Chase McLaughlin to do the honors. And away we go in Cincinnati. Returning it from the 4. Good work so far. He's got room. And he's out of bounds with the red zone in sight. This is nearly to the 25-yard line.
I'll say it again, Kate. I love these new kickoff rules. This is exactly what we all wanted to see. All of us understood safety concerns with the kickoff, but we did not want to see this explosive, game-changing play out of the game, and we did. And we, in fact, in this one, we got to see it right from the jump.
A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
Burrow gets it out wide quick. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals take a 6-0 lead on their opening drive. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. Going after up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Buccaneers, nothing. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Let's take this at the 10. And he gets it up beyond the 20, but boy, did they plant him a few inches into the ground at the end of that run.
24-yard line.
First call here coming from the shotgun. Coming out, throwing is Baker. Finds him over the middle. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down. I'm not going to call this a must-score drive here in this first quarter, Brock, but when your opponents start the game with 6, it feels like you need some sort of answer.
You need a response, right? You need a response. You don't need all these home runs or big highlights. You just need to keep matriculating that ball down the field.
Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach. We've set it downs from the 37. They'll run here following the penalty. And that's going to be a gain of 8 on first down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
This is Irving on second. They stop him just in time. He got back to the line, but denied the yard they needed. Third down coming up. Mayfield looking to throw on his 3rd and 1. Got his man. This is McMillan. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
The numbers are pretty clear, Kate. You get explosive plays. Those explosive plays on drives lead to points. You can't ask for a better start offensively.
First down. Here's Baker. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. No luck finding his receiver that time. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Regular. Hey, alert.
Throwing again is Baker. He's got Emeka Egbuka. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
I'm not going to lie. I know they got a completion, and completions, you never turn them down. But to make that throw for those yards in the double coverage, that is way too much risk for that reward.
3rd down and 4 now. This is the 7th play in this drive. Baker throwing again. Lying right side by McMillan. Tackle made at the 10. 1st and goal coming up.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Once more, it's Mayfield. Now one connects. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers finish off their opening drive. McLaughlin tacks on the extra point. And the Buccaneers start off well to tie things 7-7.
Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the Buccaneers.
So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Return coming from the 6. Showing a little burst so far. And a good effort here as he gets it out past the 35-yard line.
At their own 36-yard line.
On 2.
Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. Fits it through the middle. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. They pick up 14 yards on that one. And the Bengals have a first down.
Here we go.
Burrow from the gun. Into a crowd, and a defender comes up with it. Taylor rapping to pick that one off. And the Buccaneers will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
That's so cool. He really did it all for him, didn't he? First he forced the turnover, and then he set them up in a better spot with a really nice return. Yeah, he had designs on doing the scoring for him, too. One more move, and he might have broken it for 6.
First down throw here, Mayfield. He's going to get a hand in there and knock that one away. So 2nd down now after the incompletion.
I'll tell you what that deflection right there, Kate, tells me. That defense was following and reading the quarterback's eyes. Knew exactly where that throw was going. And it takes a little bit of intuition, a little bit of feel. He's able to get his hands on it and knock it out of bounds.
Receiver in motion, going left. 2nd down, Mayfield to pass. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's going to take this to the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers parlay the interception into points. McLaughlin attack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Buccaneers take the lead here, 14-7 in the first.
Bengals 7. Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the Buccaneers.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. And no return here, and this is a touchback, and the ball's going to come out to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Back to work after throwing the pick. Taken in by Chase, left side. Through the defense it goes, room to burn. Touchdown, Cincinnati! The Bengals cut it to a lone point on the scoreboard. It's a Ja'Marr Chase touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Well, Kate, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes, well, it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
That one splits the uprights, and the Bengals tie things up at 14. Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Starting at the 10. And he's going to head out of bounds on the return.
At their own 25-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10.
Point it right. Point it right. Point it right. Point it right.
Putting a receiver in motion. 1st down, looking to throw. Mayfield. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield again. Has his man. That's their rookie for Morgan. And nothing doing after the catch, but a good gain on it. They're down to the 35.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
First and 10, it's Mayfield. Hits him on the out route. And they'll stop him here, but not before he gets out to the 47-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that will be a Tampa Bay first down.
A gain of 12. First down, Buccaneers.
Baker now off the play fake. He rolls to his right. Finds him on the crossing route. And nothing doing after the catch, but a good gain on it. They're down to the 35. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Bucs have the first.
Don't you feel sometimes, Kate, up here in the booth when we get to see things develop? We're playing the same guessing game the defenses are on those kind of plays. Is he planning on keeping it or just waiting for a throw to develop and get open? That time the QB did a terrific job of finding that outlet.
180!
This has the makings of a shootout. A lot of points, but still tied as we reach the end of one. Both teams neck and neck so far. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Buccaneers football as we begin. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Knocked away, that's going to be incomplete. Defender there, that brings up 2nd down. You never want to overlook those Mike backers when you're throwing short blocks. So often it's those guys and not the corners or the safeties that are going to be the ones in there breaking those up.
Yeah, and so often these linebackers of today, these middle linebackers, are just oversized safeties. They can really run and play the ball as he just did.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Mayfield. Throwing the out route complete. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. That's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And that will be a Tampa Bay first down.
22-yard line.
Stick it in the air. Here's Mayfield. This is thrown towards the defender instead, and he's the one who makes a play on football. That's not what this offense wants. Incomplete on 1st down.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. The quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football.
Regular, 180! What's up?
Throwing again. It's Mayfield. Escapes the pocket. Uh-oh, trouble brewing, and the Bengals bring him down. And this defense going to try to hang on to that momentum, Brock, as they go for another stop on 3rd down.
A loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and long. They're going to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And that is a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers take a 2nd quarter lead. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. The point after splits the upright. And the Buccaneers break that tie and now lead by 7.
Bengals 14. Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the Buccaneers.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. And he's going to field this one in the end zone without a return. So that's going to bring us out to the 35-yard line.
Take over first and 10. The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for first and 10. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
On second and 10 now, it's Burrow. Got for big yards on the right side. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. A pickup of 17. And a fresh set of downs for Cincinnati. And that right there is about the best you could hope for against double coverage. Good chunky yards, and more importantly, Brock, you don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and two guys can't stop one.
He throws a bullet to the set. Brought in inside the 20. And he's going to get this down to the 9. That puts him in goal to go.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield, like...
And he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals can tie it up in the second after cutting into the lead. Mike Evans with the touchdown. Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals tie this game at 21.
Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. Fields this one at the 3. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Bucks to the line. First and 10. Drive starts with a quick throw left, complete. And he takes it forward to maybe the 23. Dax Hill up for the stop.
Brings up second and 9 at the 23-yard line.
They'll come to the line here, second and 9. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Finding Johnson once more. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. Moving quickly, trying to get set.
A gain of 15. First down.
Mayfield on first and 10. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They were looking for him again, Brock, and for a moment, we thought he had another catch, but then that contact knocked the football from his hands.
Kind of become a victim of his own early success. Not too different, Kate, than a pass rusher that gets a sack. You know what happens? Got to slide to him, got to chip to him. You get a receiver that gets it going like this, you know more contact and more focus is coming his way.
Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And things look tougher now with third and long. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did. You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
So it looks like they're going to line up and go for this. 4th and 4.
Kings! What's up?
They'll indeed go for this. It's Mayfield. Well, his first real mistake. That's intercepted. DJ Turner comes up with it. And he makes the house call. It's a pick 6 for Cincinnati. Well, they had to try something there on 4th down, but that throw played right into what the defense was anticipating, Brock, and they make it hurt that much worse by taking the turnover back for 6.
Hey, I'm all for these great group celebrations, and, I'm not Captain No Fun, but one of these times I'd like to see that player run that football over to the D coordinator who predicted that play was coming and really made the right call to create that opportunity.
That's going to be taken in at the 8. This makes it up to the 25. Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's 1st and 10. After the pick, here's Mayfield again. Pass him on the quick hitter. And they're going to get to him after a gain of close to 5 as they send him out. Offensive line, this is 2nd and 4. Baker now from the gun. Has a man on target to Johnson. And he's going to take this to the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers earn the chance to tie it before halftime. McLaughlin attack on the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Buccaneers tie us up 28-all. After tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. And he fields this one, but is not going to return it from the end zone, so the ball going to be placed down at the 35-yard line. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. First get of the game here to Chase Brown. And they drop him with a big hit, but that's going to sting worse for the defense. A big gain, and the chain's moving too.
And the Bengals first down.
1st and 10 now. Here's Burrow. Short pass brought in. And they make the tackle at the 38. The big play nets him 17 yards. And the Bengals have a 1st down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
On the move, hit it right. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
Kate, I got to believe he harkened back to that earlier pick and thought the better of making another. Getting outside the pocket, he was either going to try to run for it, had nowhere to go, so he simply threw it away.
Burrow gets it out wide quick. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets him all the way down to that 15-yard line. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains. You keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Quickly into the hands of Evans. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. It's a double-digit gain, 10 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Here we go.
Again, it's Burrow. To the end zone, but incomplete. He couldn't get it. That's going to set up 2nd and goal.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone, and defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and leave teams for field goals, you got a great chance to win.
Here we go. Can. 11. 11 MT, 11 MT.
Stick it in the air, and it's Burrow. And he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals take the lead just before halftime. It's a Jamar Chase touchdown. His third through the air this game. McPherson at the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Bengals break that tie and now lead by 7.
Buccaneers 28. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. So it goes for a touchback. Let's see what they decide to do with the time they've got remaining here.
At their own 35-yard line.
Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. Just before halftime, we get a timeout, take it. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. Looking to throw. Throwing for the end zone. And they will not connect. Took his shot there to end the half, but no dice. That's going to take us to the break.
Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. Bucks to the line. First and 10.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
The motion a receiver left.
180. Watch out.
First down, looking to throw. Mayfield. It's a big strike downfield to Anguka. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield.
6 yards.
That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26. Offense in the hurry up here.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. First down, here's Baker. The throw left side finds Johnson. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Working quickly here.
Brings up
Point it right,
2nd
point
and
it right,
2
point it right.
at the 46-yard line.
King, 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 king.
From the gun, Mayfield. Got a lot behind this one. Downfield it goes. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's third down.
Johnson.
Well, he already has himself one interception in his game, partner, and throws like that are going to find him another if he isn't careful.
Yep, those are the throws you want to intersperse and sprinkle into your passing game. Because if they become the norm and you're constantly thrown into coverage, that's when one pick becomes two becomes three, and on.
And he's hauled out of bounds as he takes this down to the 30. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
16 yards.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its
At
heels.
the 30-yard line.
Baker throwing again. No luck on the connection. It's incomplete.
The offense not shy about sending them downfield to try and stretch that secondary. Even still, one of the deeper targets you'll see him get, it's a shame they couldn't find a connection.
Real. Watch out.
Throwing again is Baker. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. And goes to the hurry up here.
Regular.
Buccaneers.
Working inside the red zone. It's caught right side by Johnson. He's tackled there, so a nice start to a new set of downs, but let's see if they keep it. Let's examine this flag. Backed up just a bit following the penalty. Here's first and 20.
180. Alert. Up. Run. Watch out.
Throwing again, it's Mayfield. And this one is launched downfield. And he can't hang on. Touchdown in his arms. But it slips through. Second down coming up.
Well, that's a major missed opportunity for the offense and a sigh of relief for the defense. Now you got to adjust a little bit, get some extra help on the back end of your defense to take those shots away.
Set. Hey, alert, alert, alert. 20. Hurry, hurry.
Once more, it's Mayfield. Completed over the middle. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Third down, here's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Great looking catch, but he lost track of that. Line and went out of bounds. We've got fourth down.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in. Out of bounds. Nice to pay off any drive with some points, and able to trim the lead slightly there the first time out in the second half. And even if they can't get into pole position, they just want to keep this thing close.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Did not make an effort to even hit the landing zone, Brock, so they're going to gift him a drive starting at the 35. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for first and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. Has it downfield. It's Chase. And they send him out of bounds as he gets this to the opposing 45. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains. One play in, Brock, and his drive is already in enemy territory. That's complete right side. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
Gun.
Taken in by Chase, left side. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Here we go. Stop.
They give on second, it's Brown. And he's going to go out with a pickup of 3, so chipping away a few here ahead of this third down.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on,
Here we go.
it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door. Bigger gap in the future.
And he is going to take this in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals now lead by 10. Mike Evans with the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. One after up and good by McPherson. And the Bengals drive their lead to 11.
42. Buccaneers 31.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff.
For Cincinnati.
And that one's going to skip across the goal line and into the end zone. So the football will come back out to the 20.
Their own 20-yard line.
Tampa Bay bringing the offense to the line. It's first and 10.
Run. Hey, alert 30.
They send McMillan left. First down throw here. Mayfield. Ooh, that one's nearly intercepted. The defense read that one perfectly. A poor choice to make that throw. Second down coming up.
Okay, this quarterback gets out of the pocket, genuinely a coin toss whether he's going to keep it with his legs or put in the air. Sigh of relief there defensively as that ball falls incomplete.
Second down, Mayfield to pass. This is a heater going deep. Yeah, a little bit of big completion, Brock, if not for that meddling defender who knocked it away. And that sets up third down.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
That's caught for the first. And this one breaks beautifully as they're going to get it forward to their own 45.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Sticking in the air. Here's Mayfield. Built up this one off to his running back, complete. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Second down now, they need 7. Mayfield to throw again. Caught him deep on the line. Oh, the ball is out. Oh, they got it back. They can try and salvage something. And from where that fumble came, Brock, 0 chance they were going to turn a profit on that play, right? But at least they did get it back.
Well, I think you know the only thing redeeming about that play, Kate.
They got the ball back.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, they got the ball back, but a whole lot longer down in distance.
They dodged the turnover, but still third and pretty long. They've got to figure out. Third and long for him here. And that one hits the deck. No fear from them trying to go deep on third down. You love that. Don't love the fact they couldn't connect. Fourth down coming up. Tampa Bay in punt formation now. Now he starts from the 6. And a nice strong effort there on that return to take us to the end of this quarter. So we hit the end of the third quarter. It is Bengal football, and they're going to start the final quarter up by a couple of scores.
1-1, ready?
First call here coming from the shotgun.
11, Thomas.
Here's Brown to start the drive. This drive is going to start out with a gain of 5 before they bring him down. Offense to the line fast. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. That one's cut along the left sideline. And he's going to be brought down here at the 42. They'll come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Has him on the quick hitter. Oh, space on the right. He's got room. He makes it in for the Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals have likely locked up the win right there. McPherson at the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Bengals push their lead to 18.
Buccaneers 31. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Has this at the 6. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20.
At their own 22-yard line.
All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10.
Regular. Point it right. 180.
Baker now off the play fake. He put everything he had into this one. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down.
I'll tell you this, Kate, they doubled him knowing that was where the pass was likely headed. That's doing your homework. A bit surprising QB still threw it in that direction with how well the defense had that one covered.
Alert. Pistol.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And this is going to be out of bounds. Defense catches up to him near that 45. They get 23 on that one. And the Bucs have the first.
First down, Buccaneers.
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44.
Hey, alert 33. 180. Hey, alert. Run. What's that?
Mayfield on 1st and 10. Taking a chance to the end zone. Somebody there, and he knocks it away. Couldn't connect for it all on that 1st down. So back to the drawing board they go for 2nd.
Well, he went for it all right there. That was a highlight reel waiting to happen if he could connect. So good to get out of the pocket and keep the play alive, but even better defensively to force the incompletion.
Going all the way to the end zone here. And the coverage holds up. Nicely done. They were tested. They knock it away in the end zone. That's going to bring up third down. So 10 yards to get this first down as they come to the line. Air it out on third. McMillan on the slant. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. Working quickly here. First and 10, it's Mayfield. Buys time, rolling right. Irving hauls it in. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. Offense in the hurry up here. First down, here's Baker. He's got it in the red zone. And he gets this forward to the 19. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Baker throwing again. And he has the catch, gets both feet in, that's a touchdown! The Buccaneers get it back to within 2 possessions. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Bronk. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
They recognize the situation they're in now. After that score, they're going to try to get it right back. And the Bengals hands team does its job, recovering that kick. Well, kind of feels like we're starting to get to that point, Bron.
And what point is that, Kate?
You know, the bold point of the game where you have to try something bold could end up becoming a play that finally sinks them, though.
Yeah, it's time for desperation. Without a defensive stop here, it's really hard to lay out the scenarios for much success. Every second matters now when you don't come up with that onside kick.
11 MT.
First down, Burrow to throw. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. And they're going to get to him after a gain of close to 5 as they send him out.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
Gets into the 15. And he's going to take this down to the 11-yard line. How about a big hitter, 30, 40 yards there, and a new set of downs.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You've got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside.
And he'll bring it into the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The Bengals making a 3-score game in the 4th. Made the right read on the RPO inside the red zone, Brock, and things worked out.
And you know what is so key about these RPOs? It's that mesh point. It's the details right there. Not immediately giving any indication of what they were going to do, and it created, Kate, the slightest of hesitations for the defense. And that slightest opportunity is all he needed to hit the end zone.
That one right down the middle. And the Bengals push their lead to 18.
Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
Over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Buccaneers. First and 10. Baker now from the gun. Gonna let this one fly deep downfield. And this is gonna end up incomplete. Really aired it out there on first down, but just couldn't make the connection. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield again. Makes the grab in bounds, left side. And he's going to be persuaded out of bounds right at that 40-yard line. Offense is set. 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Going deep here for the end zone. And he's going to have the Tampa Bay touchdown. The Buccaneers get it back to within 2 possessions. Jalen McMillan with the touchdown.
There are a couple different ways now. You can win on a fly route. You can just run right by somebody, or you can use that big body, try to win a one-on-one matchup. Whatever way you go about it, well, this is the type of upside this route can provide.
Baker leading the Bucs up to the line. They're going for 2. They send McMillan left. And he's going to get in there for 2. The lead shrinks to 10. Well, he just caught them the touchdown, Brock. Defense obviously aware of him as they line up for 2. How did they lose him? How did they get it right back to him for the conversion?
Because he's that good. In moments like this, Kate, it's not even about the play, it's about the player. And when you got a player of this caliber, you find every way to get it to him. And just because he scored the touchdown doesn't mean you don't go right back to that well. I love it.
New set of downs for him. They'll start at the 38.
Here we go.
Burrow gets it out wide quick. And this one doesn't go far.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down.
11 Let's get set.
Quick throw to the left is complete. And he stopped cold at the spot. Well, he paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that 1st down. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Cincy. Bengals ready to pick up their 8th win of the season.
On 1, ready?
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10.
12. Gun. Turbo hot. Stop. Right in.
Burrow out of the shotgun. Gets it to his man, Mike Gesicki. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Thinking touchdown here, but they cannot connect. So that's going to send them back to the line for 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal.
Here we go. 180. Plays hot. Hot. Hot.
Oh, Brock, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. He will score. It's a Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead. Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals take a 3-possession lead.
63. Buccaneers 46. Evan McPherson.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. And that one hit the landing zone first and then into the end zone. So it's going to be a touchback out to the 20.
Along the 20-yard line.
Bucks to the line. 1st and 10.
Kings. Run. Pistol. Hey, alert. Real. Watch out.
Mayfield now from the gun. Finds a seam down the middle. And he has it right near midfield here. It's about a yard short. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset? Upping the pace here as the clock continues to run.
First down, Buccaneers.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Watch, watch.
First down throw here, Mayfield. Forced out to his right. Maybe a bit of desperation. Here's a deep shot. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got second down.
Once that quarterback broke the pocket, kind of turns into like a zone read option a little bit, Kate. You got a couple choices. Keep it yourself or try to force the throw. There was nowhere to go. He really should have used his legs.
Regular, regular, regular. Alert, 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 alert. Watch out.
Second down, Mayfield to pass. Trying to push deep downfield. Big shot is hauled in. Finger inbounds. Oh, what a play! That one goes for 31 yards. And that will be a Tampa Bay first down.
And the Buccaneer first down.
Working inside the red zone.